David, your thoughts on this morning's events with the president and the team?
We had planned to meet after practice, but we just met before. Took it out of our hands, which is fine. We're going to try to be mature about the situation. Be grown-ups. Keep moving on.
What was your first reaction when you first saw it?
Somebody woke me up at like 7-something, and it's just it's sad, There's got to be some maturity across the board, and we talked about that as a group as being the more mature individuals in this situation. Take the mature approach. Obviously, there's great division in this nation right now. It's always existed. I think Trump has become the greatest mirror for America. My cousin, we had a conversation, and she brought that to me because I think there are a lot of things that have been in the dark, hidden, and he's just bold enough to put it out on Front Street. But I don't think the nation as a whole, individuals, are willing to accept, his pulling us backwards, or his pulling us to a time where everyone didn't have a shot. And we still have a long way to go in that regard. But we're going to be mature about who we are, represent ourselves in the best manner possible.
Was that William C. Turner quote just something you thought of when all this kind of came to a head?
Whenever there's something, I use reading to just settle my mind. And so I have a book of quotations that I usually refer to. And that was something that I just felt like spoke to the current condition and situation that this country's in right now. Again, we just have to be mature about it. We're going to be above the fray. Obviously, he's speaking to a certain type of people, a certain dynamic, but that has been represented in this country for some time.
David, between what he said last night about anthem protests and what he tweeted this morning, do you think that guys are like waking up even more than they were a couple weeks ago?
Should have been awake.
Yeah, right. But I mean, all guys, all colors.
Look, if you're not actively doing things to change the current construct, the way things are situated, then you're a part of the problem. You're being complacent and not being willing to say something, because ultimately this is about the next group of young people coming through, and right now they have nobody in terms of position of authority to look at. I don't think there's anything that he's done that we can say to our children, emulate this. Based on this nation's history, the office of the White House is supposed to have some sort of tact, some sort of dignity, and we experienced that, the last president. But what we're dealing with now is something unreal. It's always been here, but I don't think it's ever been this polarizing and this in your face.
With that in mind, were you proud of the way Steph kind of handled his time at Media Day and using that as a platform?
Yeah, we had been talking about it, just about all summer. I think you guys were asking right after the championship whether or not we were going to do it. So it's something that we knew was going to, pop up. Like I said, we're going to try to be the mature adults in this situation.
Steve and Graham mentioned a comment.
Yeah.
Is that one that?
I mean, just think about this. Think about the rate. I mean, the NFL, the guys, all of us, if we're in this professional athletic arena, we're in the highest tax bracket in the land. We're paying taxes at the highest rate in this country. And I don't think people take that into account. Oftentimes you hear people qualify their statements by, I can say this because I'm a taxpayer, or I'm a citizen, or I'm a mother or father, as if black people aren't those things. So when it comes to us, again, we're going to be mature about it. We know what it is. I mean, we've dealt with worse in our history in this country. And, we know we're in a fight. And we're going to continue to fight for our right to be people, our right to be human beings.
David, what would you have felt, traditionally, you go up there, you stand up there, the president's talking, you're holding jerseys. What would you have felt if you were on that platform?
Man, that's a hell of a if, man. That is a hell of a if. I don't even know how to answer that.
Would your inability to answer means it probably wasn't possible?
It wasn't possible. It's not going to be possible.
It's also,
Is it frustrating to
Imagine
you?
it's probably got to be weird for you as a guy who you spent your whole career trying to get to winning a championship, and that's obviously a moment that everybody looks forward to, going there and kind of
Right.
having that celebration. It must be kind of weird to be in this situation now.
Yeah, we talked about that this morning. I don't think there's ever been a point where it's been so. There's no tact involved. You know, there's just no tact involved. And in the face of that, I don't know how you make sense of it. You know, when there's no tact. Again, like I said, we've been on this side and we know what it is. I just don't think that in my lifetime it's ever been as in your face and up front as it is now.
Did he make it harder last night by basically unloading on peaceful protesters for people to stand for the anthem, you think?
It just didn't make sense. I mean, I'll be quite honest with you. It just doesn't make sense. I don't think anything that he does makes sense. And that's where we're struggling. You know, you've got folks that are trying to use logic, trying to use clear understanding with somebody who is devoid of both. So I just don't know. You know, a lot of these questions, a lot of the emotions that we feel, you know, you're wrestling with something that you know has been there. You know, the fight for justice has always been there. It's been something that we've been fighting for since the beginning of this nation. And we know that now it's on Front Street, it's out front. Hopefully we're doing a better job learning on moving forward.
Ever since the election, I think you and others have been pretty outspoken about everything, but when you reflect on the last year, there have been any particular events that you think have hardened the convictions on the team as far as how you felt about the...
No, I just think it's the disregard, you know, just the disregard for everybody other than those who benefit from what he can do. And I think that's why everybody's, you know, up in arms. Everybody's, you know, on edge and things are unsettled, because nobody's safe. And, you know, people attempting to express themselves, express their right to be humans and be people is in question. And I think, you know, the worst thing you can do is be quiet. The worst thing you can do is attempt to normalize it. People always talk about building bridges, but, you know, the concept of building a bridge is if your side's got to be sturdy, my side's got to be sturdy. So there's got to be some sort of foundation that you're standing on that is amendable or agreeable on both sides. And I don't think that's apparent right now.
What's your hope for when you guys go to DC in February as far as any things on
Yeah,
the itinerary?
we're gonna continue to discuss it. You know, obviously, you know, a bunch of us are involved in grassroots stuff, so we'll figure out something along those lines. You know, trying to be an example for young people, because ultimately that's what one of our goals is as citizens and humans, is to produce a positive and productive young people to further who we are.
Great.
Cool.
Is that it?
Thanks, Dan.
All right.
Leadership.
Thanks, Dan.
All right.
Steph will be out here.